Welcome back to our channel. Today, we are going to talk about one of the most powerful skills a person can build: discipline. Because the truth is simple. Your life changes the moment you stop depending on motivation and start depending on discipline. Most people want success. They want confidence. They want money. They want a better future. But very few people are willing to stay disciplined long enough to achieve it. Why? Because discipline is difficult. It means working when you feel lazy. It means staying focused when distractions are everywhere. It means choosing growth over comfort. And that is where most people fail. They wait for motivation. They wait for the perfect moment. They wait until they feel ready. But successful people understand something different. Motivation starts the journey. Discipline finishes it. And in this video, you are going to learn 7 powerful lessons that will help you control your mind, build consistency, and become mentally stronger. So stay with us till the end, because once you master the art of discipline, you become unstoppable. Lesson 1. Discipline is the foundation of success. Discipline is one of the most powerful things a person can build. Not talent, not luck, not motivation. Discipline. Because discipline is the difference between people who dream and people who actually change their life. Most people want success. They want money. They want confidence. They want a better future. But very few people are willing to stay disciplined long enough to achieve it. Why? Because discipline is difficult. It requires effort. It requires consistency. It requires doing things even when you don't feel like doing them. And most people only work when they feel motivated. Now here is the truth. Motivation is temporary. Some days you feel excited. You feel energetic. You feel ready to change your life. But after some time, that excitement disappears. You feel lazy. You feel distracted. You feel tired. And this is where most people stop, because they built their life on motivation instead of discipline. Now let us go deeper. Discipline means taking action, even when your emotions tell you not to. Waking up early when your bed feels comfortable. Working when your mind wants entertainment. Staying focused when distractions are everywhere. That is discipline. And this is why discipline is powerful. Because disciplined people do not depend on feelings. They depend on commitment. Now think about this. There are 2 people with the same dream. One works only when they feel motivated. The other works consistently every day. After 1 year, who do you think will succeed? The disciplined person. Not because they are smarter, but because consistency beats motivation every time. Now here is something important. Discipline is not punishment. Many people think disciplined life means suffering all the time. But that is not true. Discipline is actually self-respect. Because every time you stay disciplined, you are proving to yourself that your future matters. You are saying, my goals are more important than temporary comfort. And that mindset changes everything. Now let us talk about comfort. Comfort is dangerous when it controls your life. Your mind naturally wants easy things. Easy entertainment, easy pleasure, easy distractions. And if you always follow comfort, you slowly become weak mentally. Because growth never happens inside comfort zones. Growth happens when you do difficult things consistently. Now imagine this. You wake up every day and choose discipline. You work on your goals. You control distractions. You improve daily. At first, it feels hard, very hard. Your mind resists. It wants comfort. But slowly, something changes. Your mind becomes stronger. Your focus becomes sharper. Your confidence grows. Because discipline trains your mind like exercise trains your body. Now here's another truth. Discipline creates trust in yourself. Most people lose confidence because they constantly break promises to themselves. They say, I will start tomorrow. I will change. I will stay focused. But then they quit. And every time they quit, their self-trust becomes weaker. But disciplined people are different. When they promise themselves something, they follow through. And slowly, their confidence becomes unshakable. Because confidence grows when you trust yourself. Now let us go even deeper. Success is not built in one big moment. It is built in small daily actions. The small things nobody notices. Waking up on time, finishing your work, staying focused, avoiding distractions. These small habits may look ordinary, but over time they create extraordinary results. Now think about athletes. Champions are not created on the day of competition. They are created during the difficult days nobody sees. The early mornings, the hard training, the discipline. And life works the same way. Your future is built during the moments when you choose discipline over excuses. Now here is something powerful. Discipline gives you control over your life. Without discipline, your emotions control you. Your distractions control you. Your habits control you. But with discipline, you take your power back. Now imagine this. You become disciplined for 1 year. You stop making excuses. You stay consistent. You improve every day. After 1 year, you are mentally stronger, more confident, more focused, and your life is completely different. Not because of luck, but because of discipline. Now let us go deeper one final time. The hardest part of discipline is the beginning. At first, your mind fights back. It wants comfort. It wants shortcuts. But if you continue, discipline slowly becomes part of your identity. You stop depending on motivation. You stop waiting to feel ready. You simply do what needs to be done. And that is real power. Now here's the final truth. Discipline is the foundation of every successful life. Without discipline, dreams stay dreams. But with discipline, ordinary people become unstoppable. So, from today, stop waiting for motivation. Stop making excuses. Start building discipline. One habit at a time. One action at a time. Because the life you want is hidden behind the discipline you avoid every day. Lesson 2. Discipline creates freedom. Most people think discipline takes away freedom. They think discipline means strict rules, pressure, and no enjoyment. But the truth is completely different. Discipline does not destroy freedom. Discipline creates freedom. Now think about this deeply. What happens when a person has no discipline? They waste time. They delay important work. They lose focus easily. They become controlled by emotions and distractions. And slowly, their life becomes stressful. They feel confused. They feel stuck. They feel like they are losing control. Why? Because without discipline, your life becomes controlled by temporary feelings. Now here is the truth. Freedom is not doing whatever you want all the time. Real freedom is having control over yourself, control over your habits, control over your time, control over your decisions, and discipline gives you that control. Now let us go deeper. Imagine a person with no discipline. They spend money carelessly. They waste hours scrolling on their phone. They avoid difficult work. At first, this lifestyle feels easy. It feels comfortable. But after some time, problems begin appearing. Stress, financial pressure, lack of confidence, Lack of direction. This is what happens when comfort controls your life. Now imagine something different. A disciplined person wakes up early. They plan their day. They work consistently. They control their habits. At first it looks difficult, but after some time, their life becomes easier. Why? Because discipline creates order, and order creates peace. Now here is something important. Undisciplined people often become slaves to their emotions. If they feel motivated, they work. If they feel lazy, they stop. If they feel stressed, they quit. And because emotions constantly change, their progress becomes unstable. But disciplined people don't depend on feelings. They depend on systems. They continue even on difficult days. And that consistency creates freedom later. Now think about money. A person without financial discipline spends everything immediately. They buy things emotionally. They never save. And later, they feel trapped financially. But disciplined people control spending. They save. They invest. And because of that, they create financial freedom. This is why discipline creates freedom. Now let us talk about health. Without discipline, people eat carelessly. They avoid exercise. They ignore sleep. And slowly, their body becomes weak. But disciplined people take care of themselves daily. And because of that, they gain physical freedom, more energy, more strength, more confidence. Now imagine this. You build discipline in every area of life. You control your habits. You manage your time wisely. You stay focused on your goals. Slowly, stress decreases, confidence increases, peace increases, because your life is no longer controlled by chaos. Now let us go even deeper. Discipline also creates mental freedom. Most people are mentally trapped by distractions. Their phone controls them. Entertainment controls them. Comfort controls them. They cannot focus for long. And because of that, their mind becomes weak. But disciplined people train their focus. They learn to control attention. And that creates mental strength. Now here is another truth. Temporary comfort often creates long-term pain. But temporary discipline creates long-term freedom. That is why disciplined people are willing to do hard things now, because they understand the reward later. Now think about students. One student studies consistently every day. Another wastes time and avoids discipline. Before exams, who feels calm? The disciplined student. Why? Because discipline removes unnecessary stress. Now life works the same way. Discipline today prevents suffering tomorrow. Now imagine this. You stay disciplined for 1 year. You wake up on time. You focus daily. You control distractions. You improve your habits. After 1 year, your life becomes easier. Not because life became perfect, but because you became stronger. And strong people experience life differently. Now let us go deeper one final time. Freedom without discipline is dangerous. It creates stability, and stability creates peace. Now here's the final truth. Discipline may feel difficult in the beginning, but it creates a beautiful life later. While lack of discipline feels easy in the beginning, but creates suffering later. So choose wisely. Choose discipline. Because discipline is not a cage. It is the key to freedom. And the more control you gain over yourself, the more control you gain over your entire life. Lesson 3. Your habits shape your future. Your future is not created in one day. It is created by the small things you do every single day. Your habits, the way you spend your mornings, the way you use your time, the things you repeat daily. All of these things are quietly shaping your future. Most people ignore this. They think success comes from one big opportunity, one lucky moment, one perfect decision. But real success is built differently. It is built through habits, small actions repeated consistently over time. Now think about this. If you waste just a few hours every day, it may not look dangerous. But after 1 year, those wasted hours become wasted months. And after many years, they become a wasted life. This is the power of habits. Small daily choices create massive long-term results. Now let us go deeper. Every habit is shaping your identity. If you wake up late every day, your mind becomes comfortable with laziness. If you constantly delay work, your brain learns procrastination. If you quit every time things become difficult, your mind becomes weak. But the opposite is also true. If you stay disciplined daily, your mind becomes stronger. If you stay consistent, your confidence grows. If you repeat positive habits, your life improves naturally. Now here is something important. Good habits often feel difficult in the beginning. Waking up early feels difficult. Exercising feels difficult. Studying feels difficult. But these habits create a better future. Bad habits feel easy in the beginning. Scrolling endlessly, avoiding work, choosing comfort. But these habits slowly destroy your future. This is why discipline matters so much. Because discipline helps you choose what is good for your future, instead of what feels easy right now. Now imagine this. Two people start life in the same place. One builds strong habits. The other follows distractions and comfort. After 5 years, their lives look completely different. Why? Because habits create direction, and direction creates destiny. Now let us talk about consistency. Many people start good habits, but stop quickly. They feel motivated for a few days. Then they quit. And this is why their life never changes. Because habits only become powerful through repetition. You cannot become disciplined in 1 week. You build discipline daily. Now think about athletes again. Champions are not created by one workout. They are created by years of disciplined habits. Daily training, daily effort, daily consistency. And life works the same way. Your future is built by what you repeat. Now here is another truth. Your habits affect your mindset too. A person with healthy habits feels different mentally, more focused, more confident, more energetic, because disciplined habits create inner strength. Now imagine waking up every day with purpose. You wake up early, you exercise, you work on your goals, you avoid unnecessary distractions. Slowly, your confidence changes because you begin trusting yourself more. And self-trust is powerful. Now let us go even deeper. Most people underestimate small habits because results are not immediate. Reading 10 pages a day feels small. Saving a little money feels small. Exercising for 30 minutes feels small. But over time, small habits create extraordinary results. And this is where most people fail. They quit too early because they don't see instant results. But disciplined people understand something important. Results come later. Habits come first. Now here is something powerful. Every habit is a vote for the person you want to become. Every time you stay disciplined, you are building a stronger version of yourself. Every time you choose growth over comfort, you are shaping your future positively. Now imagine this. You improve your habits for 1 full year. No excuses, no quitting, just consistent growth. After 1 year, your entire life changes, not because of luck, but because your habits changed your identity. Now let us talk about bad habits one final time. Bad habits steal your future quietly. You don't notice the damage immediately. That is what makes them dangerous. 1 hour wasted every day. One unhealthy choice every day. One excuse repeated every day. Slowly, your potential disappears. This is why awareness matters. You must watch your habits carefully, because your habits are building your future right now. Now here is the final truth. Your life is a reflection of your daily habits. If your habits improve, your life improves. If your habits stay weak, your future stays weak. So from today, stop focusing only on big goals. Focus on daily habits. Build routines. Stay consistent. Choose discipline over comfort. Because success is not created by one big moment. It is created by small habits repeated every single day. Lesson 4. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. One of the biggest reasons people stay stuck in life is waiting. Waiting for motivation. Waiting for confidence. Waiting for the perfect opportunity. Waiting for the perfect moment. And while they keep waiting, time keeps moving. Days pass, months pass, years pass, but nothing changes. Now here is the truth. The perfect moment does not exist. There will never be a day where everything feels completely ready. There will always be fear. There will always be uncertainty. There will always be discomfort. And disciplined people understand this. That is why they start anyway. Now think about this. Most successful people were not fully ready when they began. They were nervous. They had doubts. They made mistakes. But they took action. And action changed their life. Now let us go deeper. Waiting feels safe. When you wait, you avoid risk. You avoid failure. You avoid discomfort. But you also avoid growth. Because growth only happens through action. Now imagine this. A person keeps saying, "I'll start tomorrow." Tomorrow becomes next week. Next week becomes next month. And after years, they are still standing in the same place. Not because they lacked potential, but because they kept waiting. Now imagine something different. Another person feels fear too, but they begin anyway. They take small steps. They learn while moving. They improve slowly. After some time, their life completely changes. Why? Because action creates momentum, and momentum creates progress. Now here is something important. You do not need to have everything figured out before starting. Most clarity comes after action, not before. Many people think they must feel confident before they begin. But confidence does not come first. Action comes first. Then confidence grows through experience. Now let us talk about fear. Fear is normal. Everyone feels it. Fear of failure. Fear of judgment. Fear of making mistakes. But disciplined people don't let fear stop them. They move forward despite fear. Because they understand something powerful. Fear becomes smaller when you take action. Now think about learning a new skill. At first, everything feels difficult. You feel uncomfortable. You make mistakes. But if you continue, you improve. And slowly, what once felt impossible becomes normal. This is the power of starting before you feel ready. Now let us go even deeper. Perfectionism is another trap. Many people wait because they want everything to be perfect. Perfect timing. Perfect plan. Perfect conditions. But perfection delays progress because nothing starts perfectly. Every successful journey begins with imperfect action. Now imagine this. You stop waiting for the right time. You start today. Even if your progress is small. Even if you feel uncertain. Slowly, your confidence grows. your discipline grows. Your future begins changing because movement creates growth. Now here is another truth. The beginning is always the hardest part. Your mind resists change. It wants comfort. It wants familiarity. But once you begin, things become easier. Momentum takes over. And disciplined people understand this. That is why they focus on starting, not overthinking. Now let us talk about excuses. Excuses sound reasonable in the moment. I'm too tired. I'll do it later. I'm not ready yet. But repeated excuses create a weak mindset because every excuse teaches your mind to avoid discomfort, and avoidance destroys growth. Now imagine this. You stop listening to excuses. You take action immediately. You begin before you feel ready. Slowly, your self-trust increases because every action proves to yourself that you are serious about growth. Now let us go deeper one final time. Life rewards action, not intentions, not dreams alone, not endless planning. Action. Even small action creates more progress than endless thinking. Now here is the final truth. You will never feel completely ready. And that is okay. Because discipline means acting despite uncertainty. So stop waiting. Stop delaying your life. Discipline is the art of becoming unstoppable. Discipline changes ordinary people into powerful people. Not overnight, but slowly, day by day. Every disciplined action builds mental strength. Every time you choose growth over comfort, you become stronger. Most people want success, but few people want the discipline required for success. Because discipline is hard, but regret is harder. Now imagine this. You stay disciplined for 1 year. You stop making excuses. You stay focused daily. After 1 year, your entire life changes. Your mindset changes. Your habits change. Your future changes. Because discipline affects everything. So from today, stop waiting for motivation. Stop depending on feelings. Start building discipline daily. Because motivation may start the journey, but discipline finishes it. Now think about this. How many dreams have you delayed because of excuses? How many times did you say, I'll start tomorrow? How many opportunities did you lose because you waited for motivation instead of building discipline? And slowly, days turned into months, months turned into years. But today, you learned something powerful. Discipline is the foundation of every successful life. Not talent, not luck, not motivation, discipline. Because disciplined people continue moving forward, even when they don't feel like it. They stay focused during distractions. They choose growth over comfort. And that is what makes them powerful. Now here is the truth. Your future is being built by your daily habits. Every small action matters. Every excuse matters. Every decision matters. So if you want a better life, you must become stronger than your excuses. And remember this. Discipline is hard, but regret is harder. The pain of discipline is temporary, but the pain of wasted potential lasts for years. Now imagine this. 1 year from today, you stayed disciplined. You stayed focused. You stopped delaying your goals. Your whole life changes, not because of luck, but because you finally controlled yourself. And that is real power. So from today, stop waiting for motivation. Stop making excuses. Start building discipline daily. Because motivation may come and go. But discipline creates a life most people only dream about. If this message connected with you, like this video. Share it with someone who needs discipline in their life. And subscribe to this channel. Because we are here to help you become mentally stronger, more focused, and unstoppable. And your disciplined life starts today.